And perfect timing by me, just as my wife restarts her little drive-on mower doohickey. There she is. There she's out there. She just hit a huge rock and I heard this clang. I imagine that blade is Fugard, but you know, God bless her. She's just a little stud. She loves doing that shit. Anyway, last gamble. Here we go. Supply phase, 23rd of December. It took a while, but we got here. Let's deal with the big news first. I'm going to try and do I have a little stand? Here we go. You know, there's nowhere to put this. I'm going to try and hold it steady. It's a full board, as they say. So that's Kampf Group Piper, surrounded by Zox, because as I noted to myself in some other video, a little mini video, that those dudes are screwed because they're going to have to roll for surrender, number one. But number two, if they're not, damn, she's loud. If they're not in enemy zones of control, then they're not isolated. They go. I believe they then go back to just out of supply, or perhaps. So, you know, I think I need a clarification there. It may be very obvious in the rules, but I read it as you got to be surrounded by Zox and basically an out of supply and more than 2 hexes away from an in supply or in good order fellow unit of your side, right? So if that happens for 2 days, isolated for 2 days, and this is the second day, which I believe we would roll on the second day. And even if we don't roll, this is the process you go through. Roll a die, you've got to roll under the morale. MRL's 1. Now, it's obviously a little difficult to do on a d6. So if you roll a 1, then you re-roll, and on a 1 or a 2, the consequences are dire. So I'm just listening to her do her thing. Okay, I really don't have to walk all the way out there and help her. Is that a bad thing? I think that's a bad thing. You know what? That'd be mansplaining if I went out there and helped her, right? You work it out, woman. All right. There we go. So those dudes are okay this turn. Armor can't move when it's isolated. Everyone defends at half. I think I made a tactical error with the Americans by looking to come this way, because I think this is going to be a weak area. You know, now I'm having second thoughts about that move. All right, but what about the rest of the board? I had a bunch of guys here out of supply, and there were significant issues. I was very concerned over here, over near Marche, that we were going to be hosed over this area as well, just because I'm so far off everything. But here's the good news. We did capture this little truck head. I think it's a truck depot head or whatever they call it. There's a name for it in the rules. That's going to allow me to supply basically one formation for the turn. Now, the good news is we don't need it, because if we look to here, so put these blue cubes on the map to help us see visually supply lines. So I am allowed to track 4 hexes across any terrain except terrain that doesn't have, let me put this more succinctly. It's 4 hexes. For motorized, we can go across any terrain except for severe that doesn't have a trail or a road. And of course the rivers and no unbridged rivers and all this nonsense, right? All the obvious stuff. And then on the 5th hex, we need to hit for motorized either a road or a highway. And then for unmotorized or for foot, we have to hit a trail, a road, or a highway. So it's all pretty straightforward, right? These guys can all, they hit the road here, obviously, and these guys will hit the road here. That road can wind down to this point, and we need a little cube here just to show you. That's a key junction. Oops, Sorry about the camera, because I'm moving, I'm doing shit and moving things. I'm used to having a stand. So this hex, super critical. We're going to reinforce that this turn. That allows us to come back through here, in around there. We took care of this business here. There's a bridge there. No bridge. Oh, Kevin Sharp, really? Seriously, get your shit together. Here we go. This hex here, critical. We push the units out of there. Advanced 2nd Panzer in there to take care of business there. And that, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. That's what the problem is. I'm usually zoomed out more. And then we can wend our way around here all the way to St. Vith. These guys were all forced back during the combat turn, and then they moved to really consolidate their positions, and so they weren't eliminated. It made sense to me versus I couldn't really get anywhere to block these roads, this main artery here. So they're pulling back to try and re-engage back with the primary forces. Because, look, this is a key artery, and this is very, very thin. There's nothing here. There's a 217, a 228, and I put a stacked unit in front so that, it's a sacrificial guy here. So super dangerous time for the Allies. We've got to get these guys out and just push them in the front of the line and let them be chewed up if that indeed is what happens. All right, so we follow this line that way. That puts all these guys back into supply or keeps them in supply, depending on their status last turn. What about Bastogne, though? You say, hey, Kevin, what's going on? So I will have one formation that will be out of supply, and that's going to be these guys down here. I don't believe they can get to, though actually, you know what? Their foot, no, their armor and mechanized. So those guys are hosed. They're out of supply. Everybody else can track 1, 2, 3, 4 to here, and then go around. These guys, 1, 2, 3, they're good. These guys can go this way. There's a little trail. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. That works. Here's my problem here. I've got this little unit, the 28th Division. These guys had to retreat, and they were supposed to retreat back, obviously, back towards their lines of supply. That wasn't available to them, and there were no zones of control going this way, so I retreated them this way, and then in their turn, I moved them here, and it blocks, their zone of control blocks this supply line for everybody. But the good news is, for the Germans, they can go, everyone can go to here. We should need another cube here, right? And then here, and then run back along this road to, where does it go? Oh, don't tell me I fucked up. Oh no, here we go, down into here, and then we're back. All right. Here's the area that they can run all their supply back through here. I'm sorry for the wobbly camera. I usually don't hold my camera just because it's super distracting. But I've got this friggin' mower going, and I want to do this video quickly, and it's 8 minutes. All right, so net of it all, we've got one isolated dude, one out of supply dude, and that's it. A stunning situation for them. However, it's not all roses. We have to now go and do our out of supply rolls, our fuel supply rolls, I should say, for the Germans. Film at 11, we'll talk soon.